HerStory Conference attendees. My name is Crissy Butts. I live in Houston, Texas. I am almost 50 years old. I have 5 children and 16 grandchildren, and I am a happiness coach, and I love to share tools and resources to help people with their relationships and how to find their purpose, and I'll be sharing some stories with you today. So I believe that we live in the most exciting time in the Earth's history. We have the opportunity to stretch and grow like never before. The world has recently shifted from more expansive thinking, think about just the beginning of 2020, to emotional fear-based thinking. People who normally would die for each other sadly began thinking and acting like they would die from each other. Financially, according to the UN, the COVID pandemic has affected the livelihood of 4 out of 5 workers. Socially, it forced 95% of children in the US out of schools, away from their friends, and everybody into social distancing. Medical research shows that the denial of meaningful human contact, such as hugs, laughter, play, and smiles, can cause isolation syndrome. Symptoms include anxiety, depression, self-harm, and suicide. As a happiness coach, this greatly concerns me. We are already seeing a rise in crime, alcohol sales, spousal abuse, and suicide. Now, since we have flattened the curve, I suggest a transition to get to work and take back our happiness that was recently hijacked. Our work may have changed a little bit, but our need to connect has not. Let's start by number 1. I want you to look at this bottom little rock right here. Connect to nature. When we connect to nature, it helps us to neutralize worry, fear, and negativity. While we're in nature, quietly seek to understand and ponder your sense of purpose. This has been vital for me. This opens the brain to new ideas and ways to move forward. When you understand your sense of purpose, it allows you to define a list of ways that you can help serve and bless others, and you become unstoppable. Next is the arrow for upward growth, and this is really important to help us take the time and think about our talents and the skills and the gifts that we have and start sharing them generously. And we have not been given our gifts and our talents to hide, but we should use them. Use your music, your math, your science, your dance, your voice, your teaching abilities to help bless other people. And last, it's so important that we connect to people, and people that are positive, people that are encouraging. Make sure we have a good support system: God, your higher power, family, friends, and community. This helps to revitalize us. So these 3 ways are really important things that we can do right now. Connect to nature, spend some time and really ponder your sense of purpose. Think about what are your gifts, your strengths, and your talents, and start sharing them generously, and connect to a support system. People who build you up, people who encourage you. And I'm going to share a little bit more about about the sunshine and the sunshine strategy in a few minutes. So I'm going to share a little backstory. I remember like yesterday glancing out the cabin window at the thermometer on the tree. The porch light revealed the temperature I dreaded to see, -27. My 3-year-old said he needed to go, and as a mama I learned go means fast, not slow. Quickly we put on our boots and our pajamas, and we grabbed the flashlight, and I thought, too bad we don't live in the Bahamas. I inhaled a deep breath of warm air, and then we raced out to the outhouse through the snow with care. True story. If happiness were based solely on a circumstance or a feeling, I would have seriously needed Prozac. Happiness is not a person, a place, a status, or a size, but finding connection to your purpose, your talents, and especially your tribe. We had sold a business back in Utah. The buyers had defaulted on the payments. We don't believe in bankruptcy, and we didn't want to ruin our credit, so we downsized to this little small cabin to be able to maintain all of our payments. We drilled our own well, and we would carry 2 5-gallon buckets of ice cold water into the cabin to heat on the stove to wash our dishes. Now, with the last name of Butts, I know all kinds of jokes, but want to know how to keep your butts from sticking to an outhouse seat when it's 20 below? I'm going to give you a $1,000 tip. Should you ever find yourself in such a frigid situation, you'll just need a pair of long socks. You slide them over the split on the seat, and voila! It will still be cold, but at least you will not stick. While living in the cabin, we knew this was not the ideal life for children in America, so we pondered and prayed, what are we going to do? While driving through Anchorage, we saw a used limousine, and we thought, maybe we could start an airport service, and we could rent out this little cabin someday to people who might want to have a rustic Alaska experience. So we bought the limo, and we started ourselves an airport service. We established contracts with airlines, hotels, cruise ships, and corporate jet companies. In 2 years, we were able to move out of that house and out of the cabin and back into a normal house. And the company grew and grew. And in 5 years, our company became the National Midsize Operator of the Year. So I love to share with people, be careful what you wish for. Because we wish to be the best company in Alaska. And our wish was not about just providing for the needs of our children, but it was a little bit about the ego. And so as the company grew and grew, the phone started ringing 24/7, 365 days a year, and there was never a day off. When the office manager was out, the phones were forwarded to me. I would answer the phone while doing the dishes, while I was grocery shopping, while we were out fishing. I would even answer the phone while trying to relieve a little stress with my hubby. If you don't want to lose a sale, you don't let that phone go to voicemail. We had a sales closure rate of about 95%. So every time the phone rang, we just had this cha-ching, because we knew we could close them if we could just answer the phone. Well, as our company grew and grew, we added more vehicles, limos, sedans, SUVs, and buses, so our overhead is getting higher and higher and higher. Therefore, you can't really say no. You don't want to turn anybody away because of all the overhead that you have. So the company is growing, but what was the impact on our little family? There were very few date nights, not enough trips to the park, very few social interactions with friends, and rare visits from our extended family, who all lived 3,000 miles away. Life revolved all around the company. I was juggling a lot of snowballs, and I knew I couldn't drop the ball on the Sultan of Saudi Arabia, nor the Vice President of China. So occasionally, the ball that got dropped was sometimes the confidence of my kids, or showing appreciation and affection to my husband. At night, each night, we would say our family prayers, and we would tuck the kids into bed. I felt like I was living 5 lives in one and barely enjoying any of them because I was stretched so thin. And my husband started using that D word, and I just thought about it. I said, oh, no way, big guy. Nope. I may be losing my sizzle, and you're driving me nuts, but I am not going to let this marriage be another statistic of broken marriages in my family tree. I am not a quitter, and we have got to figure this out. For the benefit of our family, we sold our business. We moved 6,000 miles south to Costa Rica, and I studied massage therapy and holistic health, and my husband started working on getting his commercial pilot's license. I just want to say, I am so thankful that we didn't quit. Forgiveness works, patience works, and lots of positive interaction works. I would love to share with you the Sunshine Strategy and the 21-Day Happiness Challenge. So this is a resource that I have on my website, and this is the Sunshine Strategy. It's an assessment tool to find out if your happiness is stuck and things aren't working, where it's stuck and how you can fix that. And then the 21-Day Happiness Challenge is a fantastic tool you can do individually, as a family. You can do it with a school. You can do it with your work. You can do it with your community. You can do it with your church groups, social groups, whatever. So it's a great tool. You can launch it the first day of every single month, and then there's 9 days left usually in the month. And this is during those last 9 days, it's a perfect time to come together and have a sharing time. This is where the magic actually happens, is in the sharing process. So I'm going to share a little bit about this. And you're just going to need 2 things, a pencil and a piece of paper. I'm going to do it on a whiteboard so that you can see better. So research has proven that our happiness is directly related to 3 things: the number of close personal relationships we have, and the frequency of positive interactions within those relationships, and having a sense of purpose. So I want you to draw a smiley face and 8 little sunbeams. Now these can be different for everybody. I'm just going to share what mine are. So God, for me, mine would be God, spouse, family, friends, neighbors, social groups, clients, colleagues, and even strangers. Now I want you to think on the last week and the number of positive interactions you've had with each of these people. So perhaps it's prayer, meditation, worship, my spouse, a date. I sent him a little note, I gave him a great big hug. Maybe I gave him a massage too. And my friends, I texted them, I reached out to them. It's a little hard during, if this is still social distancing time, it may be a little hard to actually have those one-on-one, but we can still do a lot with the resources that we have. So calling, texting, phone calls are great. Just reaching out and checking on people. How are you doing? So the more positive interactions we have with people during the week, the brighter and brighter our sunshine gets. Maybe I saw my neighbor out in the yard and I stopped and had a good conversation with them to check on them and see how they're doing. So as you can see, the more we do, the brighter and brighter our light gets. And maybe I saw somebody at the grocery store and had a little talk with them. I waved at somebody in the neighborhood that I didn't even know. That's a complete stranger. But as we do more of these, have more of these positive interactions, it brightens our light and it makes us happier. Now, but something else has to happen. So you can't get water from an empty well. We can't get light from a dead flashlight banner. We have to recharge, right? Have to recharge to have anything to give out. You can't give and not refuel, or you just become an empty water pot. So it's important that we recharge. And we can recharge differently for everybody. Some people love to run. There's a kid in our neighborhood. He runs for like 2 hours, back and forth down all the streets. He loves it. I know he loves it. He's really, really fast. He does it every single day. He's probably going to be on the state, the state record champion. So maybe for him it's running. For me, I love to go in nature. I love to go get my feet in the sand near the creek. I love to sit in my front yard and watch the butterflies and the hummingbirds and the birds and water my flowers and dig in the dirt. Some people love to do family history. Some people love to do crafts and some people are really good at solving puzzles. And so everybody is a little different. So we can recharge by doing, so let's say this is puzzles and this is gardening. So the more times we do this, just in the last week, you can see that it gets brighter and brighter. So if we were to ask on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your happiness level? And you were to tell me, oh, my happiness level is not really good right now. Things are going, my husband just got laid off, or my kids are fighting, and my happiness level is a 2. What would you like it to be? Let's say everybody wants it to be a 10. Well, there's some exterior things that we are out of our control. There's nothing that we can do. But there are things that we can do in relation to ourselves and what we're putting into ourselves, and also in relation to the relationships we have. So it's important to recharge doing positive things, and the more that we recharge, the greater light, the greater happiness, the greater joy that we have, and we have this to be able to share with other people. So this is the Sunshine Strategy, and in the 21-day happiness challenge, you would identify the 10 people that you care about that are in your tribe, or to the 10 groups, and then each day there's 21 ideas that you can do things for other people, and there's also 21 ideas of different ways that you can recharge. And I'm passionate about this because I have lost 4 family members and a few friends to suicide and self-destructive behavior. And I know that they had withdrawn from their support system. They had stopped refueling. They blocked people off. And so I just want to share this is dangerous when people start doing this. And if you recognize the warning signs, you can try to draw them in and encourage them to get out. Let's go do something. Let's connect. Let's do something, share with them, help them to see what their value is, what their worth is, what their purpose is. And also, sometimes people are reserved and they're a little bit shy, and they wait for people to come to them. And I want to just encourage you to be cautious about that, because your name is on somebody else's sunshine. You're somebody's friend. You're somebody's family member. And you're somebody's daughter or son. And your name is on somebody's sunshine, and they care about you, they love you, they need you, and sometimes they're waiting for you your encouragement, they're waiting for your love, they're waiting for your acknowledgement. And so it's really important that you recognize your worth and your value and how important you are to somebody else. Sometimes we just think about all the junk and all the stuff we have going on and not realize that how integral and how webbed we all are together, and how much we mean to other people. I hope this is something of value to you. And I would just like to share that there is definitely a light inside every single person on this earth. And and some people it is dying, and we need less Wi-Fi, we need more hugs, and we need more high fives. And as we do this, we will help encourage one another, we'll help share our light. And I love this little phrase, let your light shine bright. So it's inside every single one of us. I encourage you to build it, to recharge it, because the world, especially now with everything that's going on, the world desperately, desperately needs your light. So shine bright.